Welcome to Path of Exile. This is the next game we're gonna be playing. In case you're not familiar with it, it's an action RPG developed by Grinding Gear Games. Quite a unique game in the sense that it's constantly in development and receives content updates multiple times every year. Actually, 2 days ago, a new league was released called the Crucible League. You can see there's an option, League Information, where you can read about the Crucible League, find out exactly what's changed. Now, the short description reads, in Path of Exile Crucible, you learn about the ancient titans who once shaped the primordial surface of Wraeclast. Wraeclast, by the way, is the fictional world where the game takes place. And it's the expansion of April 2023. So we have new Val skills, Atlas gateways, not sure what that is, unique items, improvement to some of the older content, and of course much more. If you're interested in reading the entirety, you can do it here, or check the website, of course. Now we need to log in and create our character.
By the divine authority of the Templar, you are hereby exiled to the forsaken shores of Wraeclast. You have transgressed against God and consorted with sin. Find your redemption, Exile, or die in the attempt.
We get a very short intro. As for the story, I'm gonna give you a very, let's say, short and abridged version. We have committed crimes against the theocracy, and the Templars have exiled us to the continent of Wraeclast. Now you can see here there are 7 different characters we can play the game with. Now my original plan was to start as a shadow. However, some of the changes in the Crucible patch notes made me realize that what I had in mind for a build was not going to work. In the previous patch it would make sense, but not anymore. So I had to come up with a plan B. And instead of a shadow, we're gonna be trying a witch and using some of the chaos skills. So let me just click on this.
Why do the keen of mind seek to satiate their curiosity in darkness and depravity? Innocence is our father. Ariath is our mother. When a daughter strays from the light, she makes herself an orphan. Learn well the lessons that Wraeclast will teach you, witch. It is your only hope of finding your way home.
And yeah, apparently the witch can levitate. Wasn't really aware of that. We need to select the league we're going to be playing in, make sure that it's Crucible. You don't want to be playing Standard if you want to check out the latest league. We have to click on Crucible. There's a hardcore option if you want to have permadeath, meaning once your character is dead, well, you're out of that league and you get moved to Standard. The character is available, but in the Standard League, and you're no longer in the Crucible League. Now we're going to be doing the non-hardcore version, and we're also going to be clicking on Solo Self-Found option. You can see there's also a Ruthless option. Now, I don't think the name Ruthless is very descriptive. I recently watched a video about it. It's mostly about making the currency items and I want to say every other item as well, very difficult to find and reducing the drop rates. It doesn't necessarily make the game more interesting. It makes it a lot more grindy, if that's what you're into. I'll let you check this out on your own. We're definitely not going to be doing Ruthless. Perhaps sometime in the future. So we're gonna click OK. Right, so it displays Solo Self-Found Crucible here. Now we're gonna name... the skill I'm gonna be using is gonna be called Blight. So let's just write that one. And we can start the game. Yeah, we start in the Twilight Strand. So, before we get started, I'm not gonna be watching the tutorials. I know the basics, so we're gonna click on skip. Let me open the inventory. We start with life flask. We have a mana flask as well. Scrolls of wisdom to identify items. Close the inventory. Something very important. You can see here your hotkeys. You definitely want to have the move only option available somewhere. Otherwise, you can of course use the default attack, but if you try to move and an enemy walks in your cursor or near the cursor, you're gonna be attacking instead of moving, and that can cause a lot of problems. One of the most important tips I can give you. So now that this is done, we have to pick up this driftwood.
Shivers with malice. There's a power here that welcomes me.
Okay, let's pick up the driftwood wand. We're gonna equip it and talk to the Exile.
You and I, we're the only ones that made it to shore. Alive, anyway. Looks like you found something you can defend yourself with. Good. This place is crawling with criminals. There's smoke rising just east of here. Could be worth checking if it's...
And unfortunately, our friend there did not make it.
The dead will soon rise for me, not against me.
Okay, that corpse wasn't gonna pose too much of a threat. We have a skill gem. This is Fireball, and we're gonna equip it by inserting it into the socket of the weapon. Now I also want to select move on the option on left click. I'm not gonna be using my wand to attack. We have spells. So it's better to be safer by using move only. Now the goal in this area is to move past all the enemies in the Twilight Strand. We're gonna pick up the Arcane Surge support and defeat Helok, which is guarding the entrance to the town. Okay, there aren't any enemies here. Let me equip. Okay, this is the giant. We're gonna equip Arcane Surge as well and link it to Fireball. Okay, I need to aim a bit better. When he pulls the sword from his chest, this is the second part of the fight. A lot deadlier with it.
And I thought I'd be a dead woman by now.
But if you're a ranged character like we are, it shouldn't be a problem. If you have to fight him in melee, you need to be careful and move away from his attacks. Now, we did loot a bunch of items. We can use these gloves. There's a wand, there are some belts. Yeah, but for now on, we're gonna have the Lionized Watts available. This is the original, I should say the first town. Quite a few interesting characters here. There's Nessa, there's Bestel, and Tarkly.
Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, forget I asked. We exiles have no history. Dominus took it from us when he had his blackguards dump us in the water out there. Here, got something for you. Should help you kill a few more of those undead bastards. No, don't bother thanking me. The way I figure it, the longer we fighters live, the longer everyone lives.
So we have Tarkly to thank for another skill gem option. So we have a couple to choose from. There's Freezing Pulse, Magma, Lightning Tendrils, Ray Zombie, Blight, Kinetic Bolt. This is a attack projectile from a wand, but we're gonna be doing Chaos spells and we're gonna choose Blight. Now you can talk to Tarkly, get a bit more information about the area. We want to check what he has available. And we're specifically looking for items with links and sockets that we want. Unfortunately, not much is available. Let's check the boots. Maybe we can get some movement speed here. Okay, it doesn't look like it.
Stay sharp out there.
So we'll talk to Nessa as
I saw
well.
what you did to Hillock out there, Witch. Your black art is the reason you're here, in exile. It may also be the only thing that allows you to see another dawn. I'm Nessa, and I suppose I should thank you for ridding us of that putrid giant. Back in Aureus, I judged your kind without hesitation. In Wraeclast, I don't have that luxury. Lion Eye's watch isn't much, but it's ours. We could use you here, while you live. But should you wish to venture out, do just one thing for me. Out on the coast, amongst the wrecks, there must be a ship's medicine chest. I have many to care for, and there's only so much I can do with herbs and seawater.
Okay, I'm not surprised witches don't have a good reputation. And we got one quest here about finding the medicine chest. We're gonna be doing that rather shortly. We can also check what items Nessa has for sale. Okay, how about some wands? This is pretty expensive. We don't have the currency to buy it. There's a wand with 3 links. Not sure how good that is. 16% fire damage over time multiplier. You know, that might be worth it. I'm going to click on this one. And I'm gonna buy this driftwood wand as well.
Take care.
So first things first. There's a quest about speaking to Bestel. This is about the medicine chest, of course. We have a skill point. Let me press the hotkey to open the skill tree of this game. Quite massive, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming when you first start out. It definitely takes some time to figure out where you should be going, what skills you're gonna be getting. Now we have the option between energy shield and spell damage. We're gonna be using spells, we're getting spell damage here. If you press Control, you allocate the passive point immediately. Otherwise you have to click it and then confirm it. So that's enough for now. I want to also use these weapons. There's Blight, of course. Let me just place that here. And we're gonna click the attack without moving option. Another very important part of it. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna keep the belt as well. The rest we might be able to sell.
Yes? While we live, we are blessed.
A wayfish, waterlogged witch, washed up in Wraeclast. That's the first line of the poem I'm writing about you, Exile. Easy, girl. You could scorch a bloke with a look like that. The name's Bestel, captain of the good ship Merry Gull. At last, my Merry Gull is gone. My crew is gone. But my wits remain, after a fashion. There's an island, a hop, skip and a wade offshore of the terraces. That's where my Merry Gull ran aground. Watched the locals spit roast the ship's doctor, but his medicine chest might still be there, amongst the splinters and bones. It'd have everything Nessa might need. Dr. Shaky Hands Opton was lousy with a scalpel and even worse with a saw, but he knew his apothecary. Explains the shaky hands, if you ask me.
And this was Bestel. The voice actor did a great job here, I have to admit, and I really like the tricorn hat. Reminds me of some of the art style from Bloodborne. Of course, this was a much older game, but enough about it.
I know that stench. Just like my sisters. Upon the pyre.
And now we're in the coast. We need to be careful here. We're not exactly powerful, and we don't want to get surrounded. Just like the Twilight Strand, what I want to do here is get through this area as fast as possible. And what is that exactly? Not sure I want to stay and find out. Okay, these cannibals do a lot of damage. Hey, that should be good. We activated a waypoint. We can go back to town here if we do want to. But I'm going to press on. We're gonna go reach the tidal island and find that medicine chest. Okay, the skills here have to be leveled up manually. I'm not gonna be leveling up the arcane surge, since it does take a lot of mana to activate. There's a piece of currency for us. And yeah, just ignore the cannibals. You can see impaled corpses everywhere. And this is Hailrake.
To learn is to live.
It's not an easy fight, especially if you're up close. Because as you can see, he is going to predict where you're about to move. You have to trick the AI. Start moving and then immediately run the other way. He was the one that had the medicine chest. I'm going to equip this padded vest. There's a couple of links for us. I'm going to equip these gloves. Actually, I need level 5. Never mind that. There's a portal scroll and a wisdom scroll. The advice I can give you is don't get surrounded. You can die very quickly. This is a blacksmith's whetstone. These are used to improve weapons, but it mostly increases the physical damage. So it's not that important to us. If you're using the weapons to attack, then these can make a big difference. Okay, now we have the medicine chest. Let me actually go back to town, since we are next to the waypoint. And I'm going to pick... I want to check the items available here. If I remember correctly, the shops that they run essentially reset the items that are available. Okay, let me identify this one. Honestly, not that good. What about this one? This one is about cold damage. Can't really use that, unfortunately. Okay, the plate vest. Okay, Armageddon Jack. Why not?
Farewell.
I'd almost stopped believing in miracles. This medicine chest. It's greater than the serums themselves it holds. It tells us that we can do more in Wraeclast than merely suffer. I've not much to offer in return, but please, take something and thanks for what you've done.
And we have a reward to choose, and we're definitely getting the Quicksilver Flask. This is one of the most important items that you can get in the early game. Oh, we have another quest reward. Let me think about this. Oh, I see. These are essentially support gems. I think Infused Channeling is the only one that works with Blight. Let me grab this one. Now about the items, I don't think the inventory has reset, so nothing new here. We can't use the flask until level 4. That's a bit bizarre though. It's available much earlier. So we'll talk to Vestal about it.
Managed to salvage Shaky Hand's druggery. Nicely done. Nessa will put it to good use. More than that benumbed quack Optin ever did.
So now that the quest is done, we can move on to the next area. We're going to the Mud Flats. And the goal here, if I remember correctly, is to collect some glyphs so we can unlock the underwater passage leading to the next area. We're gonna choose spell damage again. Yeah, these are Roas. Absolute nightmare of an enemy. But we do have a bit of armor now, so we should be safer. You can open the chests, but more often than not, they don't have anything of value. There's one of the glyphs. The Rosius glyph. There's another chest, completely empty. Okay, where am I? This is the entrance to the fetid pool. This is not where we want to be in. That area is full of annoying enemies, and it's actually a dead end. We need to find the underwater passage. Let's equip the flask. Okay, it's equipped. Infused channeling. Unfortunately, there aren't any sockets we can use at this point. I'm going to equip that helmet.
Too much clutter.
And the inventory is full.
I think this Wraeclast will serve.
Alright, we found the third glyph. This is the final one. I believe the entrance should be here. Yes, it is right here. Glyph wall. So we're gonna use these items, and we can enter the submerged passage. There's the waypoint. And let's head back to Lion Eye's Watch really quick. We'll speak to Tarkley again.
Now that you've drained that passage, best I warn you about something. I was running down a wounded rower one night's eve when I glimpsed something in that waterlogged cavern. It looked a bit like a sand spitter, only the size of a bloody ox. I reckon it's nesting down in those flooded depths somewhere. If you're going that way, then do us a favor. Spill the old shield crab's guts before it gets hungry and comes looking for us.
Okay, we need to find a crab apparently. That's somewhere in the flooded passage. Now we can use Frostbomb. Now we can really use these. These are elemental skills, raging spirits. This is for a summoner type build. Contagion. I probably want Contagion. This is chaos damage. And we get Frostblink.
Got a job for you, if you're willing. There's a pool near the mudflats needs investigating. You'll smell it before you see it. Stinks like a carcass in high summer. But that's not the worst of it.
Oh, right.
Dead birds walking.
That's the fetid
Animals
pool.
don't rise up again the same as people do here. So if they aren't raising themselves, what's doing it for them? The answer's in that fetid pool. Clear the place out and kill whatever's raising those rowers. We've got enough living dead to contend with already.
And if I remember correctly, there's probably a necromancer in there. As if the rowers were not annoying enough on their own. So I don't see anything having changed here. Let me sell what we can. Definitely the shield. Don't really need that either. Twig Spirit Shield. We might want to keep this one. And Padded Vest. Okay. Right, so we're gonna equip Frostblink. This will allow us to blink to a location. Teleport, actually. Definitely choose attack without moving. Place it on mouse 5. That's good. And how about Contagion? That looks good. Time for some inventory management. Can't really avoid that. I'm going to keep these wool gloves simply because I need the different sockets that they offer. And we can now link Blight with both Infused Channeling and Arcade Surge.
Farewell. Still alive, huh? Stay sharp out there.
I'm not going to bother with the Fetid Pool quest. Let me open... Okay. We're gonna choose the spell damage talent points. Alright, these Striders are going to get us killed really quickly. When you get hit, you get slowed down because they have a chill effect on these spells. I should probably remove Fireball at this point. Don't really need it. And as for Blight, that's actually fine. There's a shrine over there dealing lightning damage.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And we can get that power for ourselves. Okay, that's a portal scroll. I'm going to go up this path. This is going to lead to the next area.
Life is short. Deal with it.
There's a life flask. And we should be near the exit. Transmutation orb. This will be very useful. Am I going the right direction? Okay, that's the exit. And we're at the ledge. There's another whetstone. I'm gonna pick up this padded vest as well. This is gonna be a problem. I need to find a space where I'm relatively safe before I can actually use these skill points. Leather scale boots. Okay, never mind. We reached the waypoint. So let me equip these leather skate boots. How about this chest piece has a lot of resistances, and we definitely want that. This chainmail, don't really care about it. We're gonna sell it. And since we actually looted an iron ring, I'm gonna show you one of the recipes. If you sell that iron ring with a skill gem, you get a resistance ring. This is a sapphire ring. We used a blue skill gem, that's why it's a sapphire one. So I'm definitely selling that, sell that one. We can sell 3 of our flasks of the same type to get a medium one. Let's equip the amulet. And I think we're ready. Anything new at the shop? Oh, this is something that we definitely want. For a blacksmith's whetstone, we can get an item that has chaos damage over time multiplier. That's an excellent one. So we'll get that one. And do I want this one as well? Spell damage and mana. No, we can buy a Quicksilver for alchemy orbs. We don't have any. We can get a large life flask. Yeah, I think I'm gonna spend some currency here.
God hasn't abandoned us.
And continue on the spell damage path. Arcanist Dominion. Blight skill is level 4 now. That was a critical strike. And because we deal cold damage with Frost Blink, everything's shattered. This is a boss, and I really do not want to engage it right now. Deals a lot of lightning damage, and we have no resistance. Okay, now that we're in the climb, we have to find one more waypoint. It shouldn't be far from the entrance.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And it's right here. I'm gonna deal with the goats before I return to town. Might as well check this shrine as well. Oh, this one. This is a diamond shrine. And that means everything is going to always critically hit. We're saving that for later. Okay, we can now equip this coral ring that we found. That's a bit more life. Cold resistance on the sapphire ring.
What little help I can offer is...
We're gonna sell those. Should probably keep this padded vest. And there's not much else available. Okay, I'm gonna buy another sapphire ring then.
Be well.
And we're gonna get mana and life. Yeah, why not? So now that we have the shrine, we're going to critically hit 100% of the time. Yep, that was great. Okay, there's another unique enemy. We need to get out of here. And we're in the prison.
I'd rather burn than call such a place home.
Agreed. Now, there's a waypoint here available as well. And we will get another item if we go back to town. Let me apply another skill, Heart and Soul, okay. A bit of life and mana never
was a
hurt.
popular one in the schools of Theopolis, taught in the hopes of deterring students from ambitions not condoned by the Templar. Brutus was warden of Axiom Prison and one of the most feared men in the Eternal Empire. But there the histories end, and the myth begins, with Brutus commissioning a witch to transform him in a mad attempt at immortality. A moment of hubris that didn't end well for anyone. If it's true, then Brutus has my pity. Some of us pay too dearly for our mistakes. Yet if you insist on learning from your own mistakes, then please, take one of these. You might need it.
So that was a short introduction to Brutus, which is going to be another powerful boss we have to deal with. For now, we need to choose one of these support gems. We're looking for void manipulation here. This one will give us chaos damage, which is what we need. What can I purchase? Not much is available, but that's fine. So we can equip this one with Contagion. Yeah, I like that one. And we can replace the shield now with another wand. Since we do have 3 blue sockets that are linked together. I'm gonna sell this one. Sell that one as well.
Be well.
Tarkly has anything for us?
There's a fine line between man and monster. Brutus, the warden of Axiom Prison, he crossed that line long ago. A big lad, and as you know from Hillock, big lads are slow. Hit and run, That's the way to cut them down to size. Unless there's thaumaturgy involved, then forget the hitting bit. Just run. I've traveled inland on the Emperor's Road via Prisoner's Gate. Had to skirt around Axiom Prism. That's the holdfast of Brutus the Warden. Bloody treacherous trip it was. Worth it? There's forest inland. Game, berries, fruit. More food than we can scrounge here. But most here wouldn't survive the journey. It would be a damn sight easier if we could pass through the prison. Tell you what, you carve us a path up the coast, find us a way past or through Brutus, and you'll have more than a few lives owing to you.
So this is another objective we have to complete here. We need to find a way to the forest. Now, is there anything else available here? Apparently not. That's unfortunate.
Stay sharp out there.
So other than the quest introductions, we didn't get much. Although, to be fair, the advice about Brutus is actually sound. You do need to hit and run. We're definitely going to need the Orb of Fusing. We'll take the Wisdom Scroll. This is a dead end. Okay, but where do I need to be right now? This is what? Oh, this is a Trial of Ascendancy, which we have to solve. Okay, we need to... okay, we got hit by the spikes. Thankfully, it doesn't do a lot of damage. We need to hit this lever and go back immediately. Okay, and now I'm going to use the Quicksilver Flask. Oh, we don't have the... never mind. We barely made it. Okay, this is an alternating one. And we're going to touch the plate
strongest metal of them all.
And get out of here. I think it's called plaque. Never mind that. And this is the entrance to the upper prison. I don't think there's anything else to do in this part of the dungeon. Might as well move on. The fight with Brutus is actually up ahead.
Fate smiles with sharp teeth.
I'm convinced that this molten statue with lava flowing has to do with the League mechanics of Crucible, but I can't seem to be... Oh, wait a minute. This is the forge. And we can select an item. Click and hold to spawn monsters. Okay, what did I actually do here? Hey, we completed that. Now the question is, what actually happened to the weapon? I'm not really sure.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Okay, now that we have the magic shrine effect, we can probably take on a lot of powerful enemies. Sadly, we can't use it for the boss fight. Okay, I do see the exit. So, this
Ignorance
is the...
brought you here, sister. To the one place where your talents are free to grow and be truly feared.
Yeah, meet Piety. Another interesting character in Wraeclast. We'll be running into her again, I'm sure. But what I was beginning to say was that we're now in the Warden's quarters, and we have to fight Brutus. Anything useful? No. Probably not worth opening these chests. He should be somewhere around here. Right?
You think me hard?
Okay.
I will show you what true horror is.
And remember the advice from Tarkly.
Let me embrace you.
Hit and run.
Let me embrace you. Come. Come. Let me embrace you. Come. Come. Let me embrace you. Come.
Almost done.
Let me embrace you. Come. Come.
That chain hook is really deadly.
Let me embrace you.
And Brutus is
Had you
down.
been my creation, Brute, you'd not have fallen so easily.
So yeah, the
Too
witch
much clutter.
has some taunting lines. Pretty fun to listen to every now and then. We're gonna equip these weapons. We need some space in the inventory. And we have fist scale gauntlets, some leather. We might be able to use that item. We probably don't have enough dexterity though. But with Brutus dead, we can now move on. And we're definitely returning back to Tartly. Okay, so let's try to identify everything that we can. The scare mask is not exactly useful. These gauntlets are really good, and we get dexterity. How about the leather chest piece? No, unfortunately not. Even with the dexterity bonus, we can't really use it.
The warden's free of his own prison. Well, since you're so bloody determined to cheat the britches off death, you better have one of these. For luck. And when they write the song about you, just be sure to mention that it was Tarkley who taught you everything you know.
Tartly, definitely a fan favorite. So the rewards here, we have body swap. This is a fun one. Violently destroys your body and recreates it at the location of a targeted enemy or corpse. Unfortunately, the skill is not very convenient to use, but it's definitely one of the more inspired ones. So we have Wither. We could use this one. Flame Dash, definitely want that one. Clarity. I'll stick with Flame Dash for now, which is going to replace the Frost Blink. So let's equip that. Always click attack without moving. And we can try to sell some items. Selling the gloves. I'm gonna keep the goat horn. Probably going to sell everything else.
Farewell.
For some, death is welcomed with open arms. Did you end Brutus's suffering out of avarice or mercy? Only you know the answer to that one.
I was expecting them to be a bit more positive about Brutus being dealt with, but it's fine either way. Now, the other skill I was actually looking for is the Withering Step. We'll spend an Orb of Transmutation. We're gonna get that one and equip it immediately, because it actually applies the Wither debuff on enemies. That will help with chaos damage. And how about... Actually, never mind that.
Farewell.
And yeah, I didn't interact with it in the past. This is your stash. This is where you're gonna be hoarding all the items that you find that you can't currently use. So we're gonna use that wand. I'm gonna keep the ring, actually. And that padded vest. Maybe we'll use it at some point. Can I use it right now? You know what? I'm going to place Contagion here. And I'm going to buy another one of these support gems. Okay, we need efficacy. So let's equip that. And configure the hotkeys. Now we're a bit more powerful than before. Let me sell the old chest. Even though it has good stats, the base item is a very low level. And that essentially means the defenses it provides are no longer helping us. Okay, one more skill point. We'll get a bit more life. Oh, there's one of the forges. Right next to an enemy. Okay, this one...
When I'm ready, and not before.
I want to use a forge, but it will take ages to use it with that. I'm not sure what it is. It looks like a skin hound that set on fire. Okay, here we go. And we're going to click on that essence enemy. This is a Whispering Essence of Woe. The essence has essentially imprisoned that enemy. If we click on it, they will be released, and they're not going to be happy. We have to use the blink skill, actually flame dash, to get out before we take too much damage. Now this is the path leading to the forest, but I don't think we'll be...
This is for your own good, sister.
Yeah, we will not be able to cross here. There's some type of seal that Piety has activated. I'm going to head back to the forge and try to use it. Let me actually upgrade the Blight skill here. Okay, let's make sure we equip the right weapon. This was the driftwood one, right? Yeah. I can see a progress bar, so I'm guessing we have to fill the progress bar before we can actually access it. I don't really see a description on these enemies. I'm guessing they deal fire damage because of the fire effects, but maybe not. So, there's a new icon here. You have allocated a new skill on your Crucible passive skill tree, so this should take us to the weapon. Oh. Wait a minute, that is already... Oh, we don't choose it. It is automatically allocated. We get spell damage and reduced critical strike chance, which is fine, since we cannot really crit with these chaos skills. They do damage over time, both Blight and Contagion. So now we know how to interact with the League mechanic. I'm a bit more confident, to tell you the truth. And we're level 11 already.
When I'm ready and not before.
Okay, I'm looking for the path that leads to the next area. I think it's called the ship graveyard. But where is it? Is it over here? This is probably it. I would have to backtrack all the way to the main area. Although we can use the waypoint. And here we are.
The sirens appear to be dining well.
And yes, there are sirens here. Not too thrilled about it, but we can activate the waypoint and go back to Lionized Watch. So what I definitely want to do is unequip this wand, and we're gonna use one of the essences that we got. There we go. Now, this was a very lucky, I guess, roll of the dice. We got spell damage, but we also managed to hit one of the very powerful mods, which is Chaos Damage Multiplier. Was not expecting that. And come to think of it, this wand is now even better than the Goat's Horn, which itself was a lucky find.
Beyond the wrecks, at the head of Siren's Cove. Leave her be, and we can only hope that she continues to return the favor.
So Nessa does mention Merveil, which is the siren that we have to fight, of course. Okay, let me sell everything that I can over here. We have another flask. This one removes bleeding and corrupted blood. But we need level 12. We're gonna hold on to it. There's the old flask. Don't really need it. I'm also going to keep the iron ring, because we're definitely going to use some of these resistances. What else is available here? Honestly, not much. I do want a mana flask, though. We have the small one that we started the game with. And we should be good. Do I need any more dexterity? How much do I have? We have 31. It's actually strength that we're low on. So never mind that, because there's no strength amulet available. With that being said, actually, let me turn off the map here. I think it's a good place to end the episode here. Hope you enjoyed the first part of Path of Exile. A lot more to come. This is an interesting game, and since it's always changing and evolving, and new content is added, I'm going to be definitely checking it every now and then. But for now on, we're going to be trying the Witch. At some point, we're definitely going to use the Saboteur that I mentioned at the beginning. I definitely wanted to make a mine build. So, with that being said, again, hope you enjoyed the first video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.